Hello and welcome back to another top table duels. Today's duel is going to be between, in the blue here, YuuchyHongroy at 1043, who's going to be playing Sprights, and down in the red we have Yugimons at 1027 playing Mathmech Ignister. Let's kick it off. Alright, so he's going to normal the red, which is going to get him a level 4 or lower, which is going to give him the Hyari Ignister. And then he's going to link that off into Dark Infinite Ignister, get his field spell. Yep. Activate the field spell, which allows him to special summon the Picari. So now he's used the light one. The Picari is going to allow him to get another AI land to hand. He's going to activate AI Contact, set that on the bottom, give himself 3 more draws. Silly card, silly artwork, love it though. Alright, so yeah, so here he draws into his engine. He's going to link off into 2 into Cyber's Wicked, then he's going to special summon. And if a monster special summon to the zone, you can banish 1 card, add another one. And then he's going to activate a Hyari Ignister, which is going to, yeah, you contribute 1 other Cyber's monster. Yeah, oh, he's saying he can't do it because he has the target's in hand. Alright, so instead he's going to Signet Mining, sending out his Mathmech Sigma to get, was it the Circular? Activate Circular. Yeah. So, okay. So he's back playing on there. Because he couldn't use this effect, it didn't become a level 4. So he can't overlay into him. Okay. Yeah. So Yugimon's just his usual play line kind of get a little bit messed up because I'm guessing his usual search target was no longer in deck, so his normal play line kind of got a little bit messed up. So instead he goes into the Decode Heat Talker Heat Soul, pays 1,000, draws. Then he links off both into Splash Mage, activate his not once per turn broken field spell to get out the Wind Bururu. Let me know in the comments below which one of the Ignisters you think has the best name. The winner of that gets absolutely nothing. I just want to know what y'all's thoughts are on that. Alright, so he's going to link off. He's going to have a Bestial Magma come down, hit the Dark Ignister. So instead he's going to link off into a Transcode Talker. Going to search for the Signet Conflict. Yep. Activate Transcode Talker, which allows him to target. Yeah, because it's allowed link 3 to below. Get his Heat Soul. Heat Soul is that? Yeah, you can only use this effective Heat Soul. Yeah, I was gonna say hard once per turn. Fast forward a little bit. Play got stagnant there, so then he's gonna link off into an Access Code Talker. Targeting the Heat Soul, so it's 5,300, and then he's going to activate its effect, pop the Magma, banishing out the Cyber's Wicked is the Dark for that, and he's going to set his 1 Counter Trap and his 1, basically, I make free XYZ. Alright, so Yuuchi is going to add his Bestial Jerusalem at the end of his turn. It's going to pass over. It looks like he has everything a player could want. Let's see if he can break through this board. So he's going to activate his Nimble Beaver, which is going to be met with Mathmech Superfactorial. Beaver is probably going to try to get Nimble Angler out of the deck. So at this point, comes down. So he's saying he wants to chain. Yeah, so he's saying he wants to chain Bestial Druid Worm to banish out one of those, but it's going to be met with a Signet Conflict. Tries to return it to deck and gets quickly reminded it needs to get banished by that. Yeah, banish that card, and if you do, your opponent cannot activate cards effects the same name. Doesn't matter anyways, couldn't do it again. Alright, so at this point, the Nimble Beaver resolves for Nimble Angler, and then he tried to activate Primech Lapilation. Lapilation be Chain Link 2 and resolve first. So, going to take 2 cards out. At this point, Yuuchi still has his Spright Smashers as well as his starter. So it's going to be met with a no. Alright, so he basically burnt through all of his opponent's cards. And at this point, he's going to kick off. Alright, so he goes into, so he special summons the Spright Blue. Spright Blue's effect gets the Spright Jet. Spright Jet special summons himself, gets himself another Spright starter. That's going to go into Spright. Going to probably send another Angler, get himself both of his other Beavers out of deck. It's crazy to me on Spright. Just all you need is 2. You just need 2 or 1 starter. And quite literally in the name, Spright starter is ridiculous. All right, so Gigantic Spright, looking at 3,200. It's going to activate effects. Now we're locked into rank or level 2 or below. Going to special summon the Swamp Frog. We've all seen this play. I've seen a lot of players who, for whatever reason, hitting him if they don't have the swap already is a good play. But if they haven't gone into Sprine, then they probably may have another way into it. But a lot of times I'll save my negation specifically for the elf play, which he's probably going to go into very likely to make sure he gets he can get his Toad on board, just so he can start cycling Toad. So he is Gigantic. I think they were trying to confuse beside the 5, which him lose 800 for which again. So he's saying they lose 800. I'm not 100% sure what effect makes them lose 800. Wild card is Colink, and his Colink monster gained 500 attack, so he's at 2800. Okay. Yeah, so they're talking it over. So yeah, the transcode was only 2800. I think he was confused about the active effect. So then he's going to crash his Sky-centric Centaur in. Non-targeting, wonderful remove. I remember that card came out. Was that New Challengers when that came out? Let me know in the comments below. New Challenger, I think Sky Cavalry Centauria. Such a good card. Yep, so he goes into his Spright Elf, linking off those 2, gets into his Totally Awesome, easy play. So now he's sitting on, potentially with the Spright starter, he's sitting on 3 negations, depending on the order in which he does it. All right, so Yugimons down here is going to activate his Gachiri. Just going to get negated by Toad, set to himself. He's going to special summon his Toad back out. Toad in the grave added back his Swamp Frog. And now he's going to activate his starter. Probably going to go into a red or go into a, at that point, red or carrot. Either one is going to, depending on what you think your opponent's going to do. All right, Mathmech Sega effect brings itself out. So then he's going to normal into his Bakari, and then he's going to Xe summon into the Light Dragon Ignister. Activate its effect, attach it, destroy all face-up monster your opponent controls up to the number of Ignister monsters you control. Another great non-targeting removal, which is going to be met with Totally Awesome, but its secondary effect is it can protect. When a Cyberse monster you control inflicts battle damage, yes, it would be destroyed by a card effect. You can attach material from this card instead. So that's actually really good. I don't think I've ever actually seen that card. I really like that. Protects itself from Totally Awesome. The effect is negated, but it's not destroyed, so it leaves that threat of 2300 presence on the board. At this point, Yugimons needs to get in and clear Carrot off the board so he can get his Triple Tactics talent. I'm pretty sure he knows every card in his opponent's hand, maybe except for the last Beaver. So he knows he's sitting on 2 cards, especially he knows he's sitting on Swap, I believe. Or no, he may not. No, he doesn't know he's sitting on Swap. He knows he's sitting on 2 Beavers. So he doesn't know that he has the special summon available in hand to kind of go off. Alright. So, goes into Spright Elf off of the play, and then he's going to special summon back his Fire Achichi Ignister, which gets himself another Pakari, and then he links off into Dark Infinite Ignister, grab himself another AI land. Big think here. So then he's going to link off into Mech Knight Crusader Avermax. And at this point, he doesn't really have a lot of interruption. He knows his opponent's sitting on 2 beavers in hand, so he's going to get a free... So, yeah, if they're playing 3 anglers in deck, some do, some don't. If he's playing 3 anglers in deck, yeah, then this is... It's automatically getting himself into his engine. He knows the other one's a beaver, but he doesn't know the swap frog. I'm sorry, yeah, no, it comes from graveyard. Yep. He's going to flip up his 0 attack big boy, probably link off with it. Remember, he still has Toad and Grave, so at any point, probably later on the combo, use Elf last. Alright, so he starters into a Spright Blue. Spright Blue goes into his red. Takes that 1100 damage, getting himself danger close. Alright, so he's going to special summon out the red, and then he's going to link off into Nightmare Cerberus. Nightmare Cerberus ditching out the last Swap Frog. And then the activated effect of got Cheery. Yeah, basically says, if this card is sent from the field of the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster you control. That target is unaffected by opponent's card effects. So, yeah, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, got Cheery, keeps it saved. I don't know if Yunchi maybe read that secondary effect. I know this card I've not seen a whole lot of. But that's a pretty unique interaction that's occurred there. Alright, so then he's going to use his Nightmare Cerberus and his Beaver to go into his Gigantic Spright. At this point, the only one he hasn't activated this turn, I believe, is his Jet. But he doesn't grab a Jet, so that tells me right now he's out of Jets. He's already burned through 3 starters. He's burned his Spright Smashers. He may have one more in deck. I don't know if he's maining the Trap. I know there's been some contention on that, whether you main the Trap or not. Alright, so here Gigantic Sprite is going to attack. Mech Knight Crusader Avermax needs to activate its effect to make sure that it doesn't die. But Totally Awesome can negate in damage. Totally Awesome will activate its effect to try to get back Swamp Frog to hand. Avermax is going to go ahead and bounce. So graveyard, bonus card, you can shuffle 1 card. Yeah, non-targeting shuffle back removal. Such a good disruption play. Alright, and here we're going to go into another Spright Elf, and he's going to set himself up most likely to try to grab the Toad. Alright, so going to main phase 1, and then he's going to activate, which one do you activate? Mathmech Sigma Engrave for priority, and then he's going to change his, Yunchi's going to chain his Spright Elf to get the Toad. Yep. He's now sitting on 2 negates on board, which Yugimons has to deal with. Yugimons is going to activate AI Amici to reveal a Cyber's monster with 2300 attack in his hand or extra deck, and then add an Ignister with the same attribute. Let's see, so he gets Dark, and he says, "You banished my Doyon." So he's got no target, so he's going to show the Wind Pegasus, and he's hopefully he plays one more Bururu. He's got 1 in Grave. He said there is no target in my deck for this activation. So he has every single one of his activations out of the deck. I don't know what water he's playing other than, what's his name? Yeah, other than Splash Mage. I don't know what other water is in this combo. So he's got no other targets. So he just has to normal summon into his Picari Ignister. He banishes off Picari Ignister. I'm not sure why he banished off Picari Ignister. Mathmech gets banished. I'm not sure why Picari gets banished there. And then he attacks it with Update Jammer. And then once per battle during damage calculation, Cyber Monster battles quick effect, you can activate this effect. Negate all the card effects on the field until the end of the damage step. Down calculation is also inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent if this card is in the graveyard as like material. Alright. 1,600 total. And yep. YuuchyHongroy says that's enough damage this game. Alright, so this time it is going to be YuuchyHongroy is going to go in for his setup play. He's immediately going to ditch one of his swap frogs to not waste his normal summon, to special summon out, and that allows him to special summon his blue out, which is immediately going to be met by an Imperm. At this point, yeah, he uses his normal summon to go into his Sprine to ditch, most likely Nimble Angler, to get 2 of his Beavers on field. Yep. activates that. That's going to get through. Alright, so now we have is a gigantic Spright. At this point, he doesn't need to send the other Toad, so probably going to go for Jet. Yep, grabs Jet. Grabs himself another. Oh, he grabs himself a Smashers, not a starter. So he's hoping that this will clear out what he needs to do. Or he can just go for Spright Blue off of Elf, foregoing the second negation. So if he thinks he's in a good spot, yeah, he can just go for the blue, keeping if his elf stays alive. That way he can grab himself another way to get into Jet and into starters. All right, so totally awesome here. Brings out the Swamp Frog. You should be playing Ronin Toadin. Just kidding. He knows his opponent's not playing Bastille, so the being threatened by being run over isn't going to be what's happening. All right, so Yugimons go ahead and starts his turn and immediately lights off the Lightning Storm. That's a safe play, especially if you know you can leave your opponent with one face-up card or something like that. If you know you're not going to finish everything out, Lightning Storm is going to be a dead card in their back row. All right, so he's going to special summon the subtraction and special summon the addition. He's doing math over here, and then use Gachiri's effect, which is immediately going to be met by a Smashers to remove it, which means that's the end of the play. So Yugimon very quickly, game 2, scoops that up, sees the writing on the wall. YuuchyHongroy, with his 2 interruptions, pulls it off. Now going into game 3 specifically, let's look at this hand here. Yuuchi did not come fighting fair. He's also got his nimble beaver to get him into his plays. So right now he's looking at 3 ways to really slow his opponent down. Let's see if it works. All right, so Yugimon's gonna start this off going with a Chi-Chi in the red to grab himself another one, which is immediately gonna be met by a Gamma chained with Shifter. Alright, so now AI Ignister is going to activate, and then he's going to set his Solemn Judgment, and he's going to pass turn. So the upside to this is he doesn't know it, but he's only got his Nimble Beaver. Yuuchi's only got his Nimble Beaver play. So he's going to wait for him to get into something, and then likely Solemn it. There we go. Just get one of them out of play. Alright, so now he's still staring down 2 forms of interruption because it doesn't control a monster on the main monster zone. Special summons his Baruru the Wind, which allows him to send one. Dimension Shifter is no longer online. And then he goes into Dark and Infinite Ignister, grabbing a spell, right? Or sorry, AI Ignister AI land. He needs his return spell so he can get all his free draws here. He's gonna activate Gachiri. Link both those off into a Splash Mage. Splash Mage's effect, target in graveyard. He targets Gachiri, it looks like, brings Gachiri back out, and then links from hand into Decode Heat Soul. And then he activates the Microcoder and activates the Heat Soul. Draw himself into another Chi-Chi. Microcoder to go get him his Cyanet Mining, right? Yep, guys, and gets him into a Cyanet Mining. Likely going to ditch off the extra field spell. Going to be met by an Ash Blossom and then met by a Nibiru because he knows that his opponent is only sitting on the fire in hand. Gives him a token, tells him it's in attack mode because he doesn't want to deal 3,000 defense. Yep. So because he doesn't, oh no, had he already used? Oh, he hadn't used his normal summon yet. So he normal summons into a Chi-Chi, uses the 2 and links off into Security Dragon, uses the AI land because it is controlling to special summon into Doyon. Doyon's effect triggers, which adds Picari back to hand. And he's going to link back off. What other link 3s is he running? So he's, yeah, so he's going to get into his Transcode Talker. And because Doyon, yeah, went to grave, he's going to be able to add back his Ignister AI land. Special summon the Picard because he no longer controls anything. Again, Ignister land just really helping him link live. Activates Idle Reborn. And at that point, Yuuchi is gonna close it up because he sees the writing on the wall. He only has the Smashers. There's not a lot of other cards that can really one card start him because he ate through 2 cards. It's fairly unlikely he's gonna be able to play into it. versus Yugimons is going to be able to set up a fairly threatening board here. So that closes out this game. Overall, I think AI Ignister getting to go twice in both games really pulled through. Overall shows the deck. So let me know in the comments below if this has made you want to, I don't know, maybe pick up Ignisters and try to run with them. I don't think their cards are terribly expensive. Some of the extra deck is, but I think this is a fairly budget deck. Let me know. I need to go in there and look at it. And then Spright, just kind of showing just what, if you have too many hand traps in your hand and not enough engine cards, that's just it. It's going to shut you down. That one song kind of closed out the game. Thank y'all for spending your time with me tonight and watching this video. If you liked the video, please, as always, give me a like and subscribe and let me know that you like what I'm doing. And then let me know in the comments below what other types of duels you're looking for so I can get out there and find them for you. As always, thanks for watching. Out.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.